that's very cool, and it's great to be over here. So happy to take any questions, however difficult they may be.
So what made you, going back to the store, what made you decide to open up your own store, to go through all the work to open up your own store, in spite of having thousands of retail partners already all over the world?
So we do have thousands of retail partners, so that's still cool. And they're still great partners of ours. But it's like we've always wanted to have the Razer experience through and through, such that we give that consistent, authentic experience from Razer. Like when we run events and stuff like that. I mean, our partners do a phenomenal job. But, they have to take into consideration all the other things that they need to do at the same time. For us, it's just 100% on Razer, and we love that. So, it's one of those cool stuff that we have the resources to do. So we didn't have the resources to do it maybe 5 years ago. Today we have the resources to do it. Tomorrow, if we had the resources, we would build a whole building, just on fun. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we are really open on the fact that, we are profitable, which is important, and we use those profits to put back into R&D. We use the profits to give back to the community, doing events like that and stuff like that. It is important to me. And yes, if one day we build a whole freaking city, we will build a whole freaking city based on gaming itself.
Yes. Now that you have a physical store here in the Philippines, do you also plan to open up your online store to the Philippines as well? Including your online exclusive products?
I actually don't know. I'll find out. I suppose I think the challenge for us has not been more like a business decision for us. It's more like logistics and getting things set up and stuff like that. And because we go through logistics partners, we don't necessarily run the logistics ourselves. So the question could very well be that we don't have a logistics partner right in the Philippines. But hopefully, now that we've got more of a presence over here and we've got our own staff and stuff like that here, we would be able to consider that. So I wish I had a better answer to you, but it's better than at least for me to give you some kind of a businessy kind of reply.
Yeah, that's
I really don't know.
Yeah. Well, at least that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I hope so. This is why we've built the Razer Store to become a great place for people to gather and have fun. In fact, we encourage as many people to come here, have fun without even buying anything. Don't. Come here and just hang out, have fun. That's really the key.
So it's not just a store, it's also a community hub.
Actually, I'll put it the other way around. It's not a store, it's a community hub. If you can be here 365 days a year, just having fun and playing games and camping out over here, you're very welcome. And I would like to stress that every single gamer is very welcome over here. As long as, so I get people messaging me saying that, look, I don't have a Razer product, but I'm a huge fan. Great, come on over. You're very welcome. And that's something the entire team is very aware of. No one's going to try to sell you anything. You're here to have fun. And if that is achieved, that's the benchmark. Then we've managed to do what we want to do over here at Razer Store. Awesome.
A lot of other CEOs would go crazy for about something like that.
Yeah, we drive a lot of other CEOs nuts. Yeah. They always ask, like, how do you guys do this? I tell them that. I think the problem is a lot of them aren't gamers. We created this entire industry, right? We started in it, we've always been gamers. We've been tempted, often by other people saying, hey, look, why don't you take your tech and go and do something else? But we want to give back to always the community, and that's really important. Look at the fans, I mean, they're lining up now, right? You can't buy this. And that's what, I've got CEOs saying that, how do you do this? How much do you invest in? And they try to follow things. And I tell them that, look, as long as you're looking to sell a product and not doing something for yourself, gamers are really smart people. They see through all of that. And that's the thing, because I see through all of that. So and that's the thing, even when we did this store, it was not with any financial projection. I was zero financial projections. People go nuts about it. People like, how are you going to break even and stuff like that? I go like, I don't know. I have absolutely no freaking clue. But if the guys here have fun, cool. Let's just do it. You're going to get to the toaster question at some point of time, right? So to address the toaster question, yes, at some point of time there were engineers working on the toaster, and I made a mistake of talking about the fact that a couple of crazy engineers in the company working on the Razer toaster on their own freaking time, all right? Now, it's become a bit of a movement to try to get us to actually sell the toaster.
Yes, there are pages dedicated for it.
Yes, and basically I've told those guys that, look, if you ever reach 1 million fans on your page, I will make a freaking Razer toaster.
We're on their way.
Yes, I know they're on the way. And it's like a religion. Those guys go around like, go get the Razer toaster out.
Toaster's awesome in the morning.
Yes, I know it's awesome in the morning, but we don't. I've got limited amount of resources. I mean, we've got a lot of really smart people, but we are working on some really hard problems in the gaming industry. Not that toast is not a hard problem, but
it's like
Speaking of products, can you give us any information on any new products in the pipeline?
absolutely, I will be able to tell you all our new products, but I'll have to kill you.
All right.
Just him?
I think I'm up for that.
So the thing is, yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that. So the thing is, we get a lot of people wanting to know about new products, and I usually tell them that, and other CEOs that I meet or other companies, they always say, "Hey man, come on, just tell us what you're going to do, so we can follow very quickly and stuff like that." I just tell them it's very quick, very simple. Every gamer actually already knows what other products we're working on. I just tell any gamer, imagine you've got a huge amount of resources of some of the most talented designers and some of the most talented engineers on the planet. And think about it, what would you design for yourself? And that's the point of time that you can kind of figure out what we're going to be coming up with next. It's as simple as that.
So how many left-handed people do you have in your R&D team?
Not many. Robert, my co-founder, is left-handed. So you see, things like Razer Store in Manila, people out there, tend to be a little bit skeptical. And rightly so, because the industry, there are lots of companies that just talk for the sake of talk, right? And people ask me like, oh, how committed are you to the gaming community and stuff like that? I would just say, don't listen to what I say. Look at what we do. When the gaming community wants a store in the Philippines, we build a friggin' store, right? We bring the big guns and we do all of that. The left-handed mouse, we lose money on every single left-handed mouse that we make. But why? The community came together and said, we want a left-handed mouse. And I said, so be it, right? And we make it. So these are actual, tangible examples of what we do for the community. And we want to continue to do that. So don't take us for our word. Now, can I be perfect and be able to execute? Like, if somebody says, I want a store in the middle of the desert, I can't do that overnight, right? But what we can do is that we can listen, and if enough gamers say that, look, that makes a lot of sense for us, we will get there. And the thing is this, the common misnomer is that we're a gaming company. We're actually not a gaming company. We're a company for gamers. The problem is most people think of gamers as a guy who's always obsessed with games and spending all the time hidden away. But gamers do other things. Gamers are entrepreneurs, and gamers are doing cool stuff. And some of them love action sports. Some of them, many of us, like going out. And for God's sake, right? We don't do that. And the problem is most businesses look at gaming as a stereotype. And that's the problem. And that's why we came up with like the Naboo and stuff like that. Even, of course you get certain podcasts that say, this doesn't make sense. But no, lots of gamers have said, this makes absolutely great sense for me. We've got gamers who are UFC fighters, right? We've got gamers who are playmates with Playboy, and stuff like that. It's all. That's one of the stereotypes that we would like to dispel for the other people out there. That like getting back to the community, doing a lot more. And I think as a brand, Razer doesn't. We're one of the few brands that people tattoo logos of themselves, right? And I've seen, and many people say, why would you do a logo of a company? Some people say that. But we've transcended being a company. The logo, the black and green, it stands for gamers more often than not today. And that is important because that's what we know we're responsible for also at the same time. That's why we're also concerned about how we're going to prepare the people lining up and taking care of them and stuff like that. Because it is our responsibility. We're not going to bring Razer to the mainstream. We're really trying to bring the mainstream to be gamers. And that's what we want to do, and it's really important. Yeah, I've seen, lots of stuff. I think it's very cool, and I'm excited by. I like, I run my own Facebook page. I run my own Twitter feed.
So you see everything that these guys
I get to see all these kind of crazy guys come up with all kinds of cool stuff, and I enjoy it. And I hope I will never lose that. That's one of those things that maybe it takes up my time from doing important CEO shit, but to me it's as important as anything to always continue talking to the community and the gamers out there. And that's an interesting thing. In the early days we had to put the Razer word, then we've graduated to using the Razer logo itself. I don't even know whether I can talk about the little fight that we had to get the logo out there. Well, for example, you know, we said that we wouldn't build a store unless we could just put the logo there, because if you see every other store, they all have to have the words and stuff like that. But that's not us. We've reached beyond that. But I think what's even more exciting is that if you ask any gamer, you lock him up and put him in a room and you just show him a flash of black and green without even a logo, and you ask him like, what does this make you think of? More often than not, he's going to say Razer, without even seeing the logo. And that's what we want to be able to do, and bring it to the next level and to make it very cool. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Very good to have you guys over here.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Real pleasure.